Hey, just 1 second. I'm gonna get my phone. Okay, how's that
So,
look?
Jim, what did you do to the photograph
I
that you said
screwed it up. That's what I did.
no, the one where you said this is where we need to get to. You've put it into some package that's put, sort of colorful dots all over it.
Yeah. Uh, that was I did a little Photoshop work on it to just to see where it needed to go. Where I do that a lot when I'm get it to this point where it's almost ready to be finished. But I have some choices to make, and sometimes I just don't want to look like a fool in front of you guys. So I decided to go a little bit farther and say, well, what if I take this branch out? Because I
Yeah.
the branch is a heavy, too heavy. It's stealing because of the light and the dark. It's darker than the horse, so
Mm.
this light around it is making that the focal point. And so I'm just going to scrape down that area, and then I'm just going to take what's in the photo, basically this area up here, and just bring it on down a little bit more and feather it out to the sky. That's what I'm going to do.
But it also looks like you changed, and I liked it. The lighter colors in the back now look like they are really pale turquoise. Is
Oh,
that in the
yeah,
photoshopped version, as opposed to in
this
your?
muddy version.
Well, no, that actually looked pink-ish when you posted it online. So I'm not
It's an
sure what.
or it's yeah, it's an orange coral type color, but
Yeah.
it's more on the yellow side.
Mm.
Um, yeah, what I yeah, that's what's making it feel dirty, a little grayish, not doesn't have any life. uh that's why I going, well, the first thing I did, I what I was trying to do is be different, a little different, instead of going exactly with
The photo.
yeah, the photo. I go, let's go with the sky that's orange instead of
Mm.
just blue, bluish tones to it. And I tried, so I said, sure, try that. And it's just what it did is just the reaction to it to the other colors and stuff just made it feels a little dirty, right? Just a touch dirty. And I could lighten it up, lighten it up, lighten it up, but I just said I just don't think it's going to get there. So I said, okay, let's just try blue. That's why you can do it in Photoshop real easy. Just grab a little light blue, shove it in there, and see if it, you know, does
So
what
what
it's
do you think?
supposed
You
to do.
you prefer it with the light blue?
I do. I do. I think I'm going to bring that back, try mix up some of that, and
Okay.
work that in. I'm going to try and just see if I can. I'm going to try and get it the same value as I got here, or well, this is still wet, uh, but and work it in, so it's not going to be like a total thing. I'm just going to almost pixelate it a little bit. So with the brush strokes, so you get a little bit of orange, you get a little bit of, a blue sky coming through too. And then I was hoping that when I do that, I can probably finish fixing this area. And that will be the top area. Another thing also, to make these trees just a little bit, from shooting off, a couple leaves to break these strong lines, just a couple leaves overhanging. And that's what I also, in Photoshop, I was able to look at that and see that was what it needed, because it just takes you off a little bit. So you put a leaf or a couple leaves, branch type thing coming in over here. I figured that's really going to make the difference. Down here too, trying to get a little bit more softening and pulling the whole thing together, so these guys aren't two separate of things. Trying to work that way, and then putting in some of the grasses. I was scratched in a bunch of them, and that seemed to get the right value even. It just, I got to put in a few with paint and a little bit different. Also, I was thinking of, I got to, put in some not dandelions, but some kind of,
weeds.
goldenrod, something like that, in here, just to feed it in here in patches to break up this big ass area that could end up being kind of boring, but that's kind of like the last thing to do. This orange got a little out of hand here. That just went a little too strong.
Where?
On his butt here, this light here.
Oh, I liked it actually.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's just might be a hair too dark. Also, I got some stuff on her too. I got to get rid of her mustache and things like that. There's always those little things to do.
And then I think, so I was just looking at mine. I've got still just like too much tree under the horse as well. So it's the same problem as the branch growing out of his ears. But you've got your lighter grass growing up higher, and that sets off that belly better.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it down probably a hair down a little bit farther, because right now I have this and the tree kind of ending at almost the same area. So I got to bring down a piece of it. That's the thing, is you don't bring down the whole thing. You'll bring down a piece of it. It could be just a root of the tree coming out this way. That's all it has to be. One, break it so it doesn't be too strong. And also breaks this line here. I would love to break this line. So it needs something to come down. So it comes down a little bit farther. Maybe if this gets pushed down, and maybe the shadow comes down farther this way. We change a little bit of direction of light. I'm hoping, that when I do make the sky, I'll be able to come back and pop her out a little bit better, just because of right now she's, she needs just a few lights around her, just like the horse too. That head, everything kind of just dies right in here. So I'm going to bring all this stuff down into there. Right. How about you guys? Let's see. Want to look at your guys and see what we can do, or my suggestions? There's only two of you. So
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to show it to you again, and you can tell me now, because you'll be thinking about it fresh.
All right, and then we can go Sarah's,
and then look at
too.
Sarah's.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here's where we are. Can you see it?
Yeah, I thought you did a great job on that. The girl really jumps out nicely. Are you thinking about putting any of that the stripes on her clothes or anything?
I got to do something, because it looks like she's got ruffles in the back, and then no ruffles in the front. Something doesn't look quite right about that.
Right. That's a good point. That's always the reason why you have to kind of put some of those in.
I got to
just take it easy on them, because they'll just jump too.
Yeah, and like I said, that's going to go away now.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would
I
definitely
think it's, and
that
then
would
this vertical one right here as well is sort of surplus to requirements as well, I think,
he's running parallel with the
with the
head a lot.
head.
So
Mm,
I would, yeah, get rid of both that whole that piece, and you could,
yeah.
you know, that'll be enough, and then just bring a couple scratches of
And then I thought,
twigs.
what was I gonna, I was gonna just move this branch up and
Okay,
connect it higher. It's hard to hold the painting and from
right, that's
pointing,
okay. I understand. Yeah.
but yeah, try to do something there.
Okay.
And then yeah, otherwise, I don't mind this. I like it quite light back here because
Yeah.
some part of this painting has to be light.
Yeah. You don't have to show much back there. Basically,
Mm,
it goes to the there's a field farther back, kind of
yeah,
off the distance.
yeah.
I put a couple teepees back there.
Get out, you didn't.
I put them in so light just to see if they worked. I'm just gonna put in a value. I'll try to bring them out when I do the
All right.
color.
So that's it. That's what my
So when
plan
you
was for
clean it
today.
up, when you clean up that sky back there,
Mm.
yeah, you could just bring it on down, or you can put
But yeah, so that was why I was asking about that because I thought it needs to just be light, but it would be maybe nice to be light with different shades of lightness. So I thought, I've got some purple and some orange in there, and I thought, now what would happen if I added some
blue,
blue? Yeah,
turquoise, like yeah,
yeah,
same
maybe.
value. Just that will clean it up. That'll take the. You can just I can just feel a little bit of dirty. It feels a little
Yeah.
dirty in there. When it's dirty, it says it's
And
too
then the
warm.
same thing down here is gonna
Too
have to
warm.
also
It has to be
happen.
cool.
Yeah.
So if you change it to a cool, you'll be a
I'll
little
change those two
better.
places. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, and then on your tree coming down there and stuff, just soften it a little bit. Watch where it's coming out too. It's coming out right with the line for the horse, the bag or that of its sash or whatever coming
What,
down.
this one or that one?
The horse, yeah, both of them underneath the horse.
Oh, underneath. Yeah, this is too dark. I was gonna bring some of the grasses up.
Yeah, but it's also lining the end of it is lining up with the horse, in
Yeah.
the horse's stuff on the horse.
Yeah.
Slide it over,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
and then soften it up.
Okay. All
And
right. Well, that's.
yeah, no, and you look at your dog, how beautiful your little dog is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna change my dog, except he actually needs to sit on something. At the minute, he looks like he's
Pooping. Yeah, he's
having a
busy.
having a
Hey,
bio
what are you
break.
looking at over here? What are you doing? Just lift
Yeah.
up all you got to do is lift up his back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lift up his back a little higher. And bring some grasses up a little higher.
Bring
Too.
some
Put a
grasses up
put a
around.
break his front section with just a little bit of a shoulder paw. I mean,
Uh-huh.
coming into the grasses. That's all you got to do. Pushing you back into the painting. That will also help. Definitely do that. Right
Okay.
near his collar.
Yep.
And,
Got it.
watch his collar too. That's probably not as much as you need of that, but that's great. Some of that stuff, that easy fixes. Nice. I think those little things will change that
Improve
painting a
it.
ton.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Sarah's doing. Sarah, how far did you get?
Not very far. I ran
Well,
out of time.
you blocked it in nicely. Oh, and the color's really great. And you got the trees back there. You got so much done. I would say up in the corner, first thing up there, just break that the sky where the sky is. Yeah. We'll be bringing in a little bit more things to break up that white area, the sky area, just some more leaves and stuff.
Okay.
A couple of values changes of the light greens in there. You did a pretty good job on. Well, you did a really good job on pushing that tree limb back that comes out of the horse's nose and stuff. What I would say also, maybe throw a couple leaves over that thing.
Okay.
Just over, bring them when you bring them down, bring a couple of not even have to be too heavy, but just a few things and well-placed ones that separate the nose from the tree. So like one right in between the nose, that tree
yeah.
limb and right up against the nose, a leaf there
Okay.
will kind of help. And then just bring a couple more to kind of, so it's not by itself. That will help. Also, maybe bring a couple leaves at the back end, going off the painting, because of the limb goes all the way off the painting. Bring some more leaves coming back in. You toned it down light enough and didn't make it a huge thing. That's why I'm saying you can do this. And then also underneath the horse's neck,
Mhm.
right under its chin and or head and neck,
Mhm.
bring a couple of leaves from behind there just to kick that horse's head out.
Okay.
That's and use those leaves as a place, to help. Just make a few different greens. The value you have up there is really good and stuff. So I would say that. And you did I like the way, this is what kind of gave me the idea to go towards the blue side in the skies, because you had it
Oh.
and it was working so well.
Mhm.
So I was going, I know, I just didn't want to go there right away.
Mhm.
Now I can go there. I'm going to leave some orange in there. You want a little more orange, though, didn't you, on the back other side?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Because of mine?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. We'll bring the both back. It's going to be probably in between. Maybe I'll just keep it more orange at the bottom and then just more blue at the top, so it gradates up there.
Mhm.
And then all you do is bring in the grasses a little bit more. And we're going to use those grasses again to push the horse out and hide its feet a little bit, cleanly, so it doesn't look like we're hiding its feet, but we're hiding its feet.
Mhm.
And then grasses to pull the back in. That should turn out really well. And then I would say go into the details, couple of details on the girl. We'll see about her. And then if we bring out a couple spots on the horse, maybe at the end too. But otherwise, that's really great. Same thing on top too, about the big V behind her head.
Mhm.
Yeah, just a little few leaves, well-placed leaves to push it, just to keep those things from shooting off too hard.
Mhm.
That'll be gorgeous.
Cool.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Colors are great though too.
Oh, thank you.
So she did really well. All right. Now it's my turn. I'm just gonna go over the palette, mix up brand new colors for it. Not everything. I'm just gonna mix up. Think about the sky. I'm thinking about the grasses. So it's a lot of lighter colors. It's not really too many dark colors, but we're gonna have to have some dark colors too, also. So we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so let's get over there. I wasn't sure how this was working. Oh, my lights are on. Boy, it sure looks dark. Anyway, yeah, this fixes. Again, I'll be just using in between bristle brushes and synthetics. I might be using bristle brushes probably more for leaves and things like that. But I'll definitely need synthetics when you get close to things. When you get close to the horse's face and stuff, you can keep it clean a little bit with the synthetic. Let me see this up there. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna make up some greens and then hopefully some of the other things will come out of this thing. I definitely am going to go for the grasses too. The grasses are going to be probably were transparent oxide and green. One side really transparent oxide, and the other one just a little bit more green. That's really green. This will be a little more transparent oxide. Basically, when I go over too much green, I don't even need to go back to the real pile. I'll just steal it from there. So I'll need that color, definitely. And I could probably use this for some of the horse too, like a few little spots there. Trying to bring in some warmth here and there, but then also cool it off. Yeah, I'm gonna need a few other things. I'm looking at the sky. Okay, the sky. I don't want to do a traditional blue sky, so I'm gonna go with phthalo, couple phthalos, and alizarin. So it won't be totally turquoise, but it will feel turquoise. Because I'm going to leave a little bit of this on the green side, a little bit greener than normal. Nah, I said normal, and that just probably isn't it. There we go. Just touch more green to it. We'll see. Just, that's the thing is I'm going kicking and screaming to a sky, and I'm just trying to hold it back. But this color I do need again for some of the greens. Definitely the ones underneath the horse and things like that. A few spots and then the leaves. So these guys will make some nice greens. I just need a few more greens to make up that are going to be in here. I'm going to go blue and ochre. I'm going to come down here and do it. A blue and an ochre. Also, I think these colors up here, these phthalo greens and alizarins, especially on the green side, if we lighten it up just right, you might be able to get, that might be one of these two are going to be the stripes in her thing there. And when you drop those in, just drop them in with the tip of the brush. Just drop them down, nice synthetic. I'll do those to show you too if you want, or when we get there, or you guys can do it on your own, and then I can show you how to do it. Either way. So this is going to be blue gray greens. Again, this
is regular blue.
Yeah, blue and ochre. This is blue and ochre. And I was thinking, I'm gonna do this one blue and ochre too, and I'm gonna do one with blue and orange too, and that might be it. I might be able to get, and then I'll just be taking them and adding cad yellow or something like that to 2 pieces of them to get in white to get a bunch of more greens. So I'm not, too heavy in one green. So I have a couple versions of things to do. And these are just some of the greens that I go, God, I make this green all the time. We need it. And I don't know why I don't have it. But this is final little stuff. The stuff I never show you guys. I make you get there without it. Okay, that's going to be probably too much. I'm going to try this one just with how much blue I got to put in it. A little bit more blue. That's about right for a few things. This might even be good for some of the grasses whited out. But I need it probably a little bit bluer. And let's see if, instead of just getting rid of that one, I kind of like it. Just try one more here. There we go. That was the green. See? That's the green I wanted. It's almost like this, but just slightly warmer. Now I will be able to use.
What was that last one that you're playing with? mixed
This
from?
is just more blue than orange. I just took what I had left of my knife here and added some orange to it. Now I'm going to take each one of these guys down and just leave the big pile, create a second pile, and I'm going to add yellow to it. Cad yellow, maybe some white to lighten it up. Just, and this should get, and these things, these guys too. These guys, but I think these guys are going to add white to first. Definitely these guys got to add, save some of that. Won't need it quite that dark. Might even take, I'm going to take these guys over here. Pieces of these guys too over here. These ones I'm going to add white to. These ones are going to add yellow to. Same thing probably here too. Don't really need the darks that much. So I'm just going to bring these pieces of these guys over here. And these ones I'm going to add white. These ones I'll add yellow to. So the first four. Yeah, let's add white. I'm thinking. There we go. I'm thinking when I'm doing this about the value of the grasses. Value of the grasses. I'm way dark. This is like a still around a 7. Needs to go twice. But for my painting, it needs to go probably at about two or 3 steps. So almost about half and half. Again, I did half and half, and so I'm doing like half and half white, half white, half pile. And now I'm doing, again, adding half white. This gave me really close. This is almost too light now. Value-wise, pretty, I think value-wise too white. So I'm just going to darken it down a little bit so it doesn't jump out too much. And that will also bring back some color. I was kind of just got whitened out. So that value, for at least now, it's really you almost have to start judging your putting it on your painting, your knife on your painting a little bit, and making sure that these colors don't jump too much. So you can always go back to your home value a little bit and use them. So half and half, and then not quite half. This red looks on the red side here looks a little lighter than pretty good. That's pretty good. So half and half on this side, I might just stay with. And then, try it out. And then if I need to lighten it up, I can just add a little white to it. I might add just a little more richness to it. Maybe just a touch of yellow instead of adding white. Total white to it. Yeah. Maybe the same on the green side. Just a touch of yellow to warm it up. Touch more. But I got a few, sometimes it just makes a few different piles here pretty easily. And then darker one just in case for farther back ones. I should have probably thought of that. And I'll have some blues and stuff too here left over when I get to these guys. Same here. These guys, I'm thinking sky. That sky is definitely close to a 1. That being said, maybe I don't need quite that much. But this is what I was thinking. Just an off, grayed out blue-gray. That's way too strong. That's way too bright or too dark. And I'm going to go twice as much. So I'm going in for my orange on my painting. I'm going for the sky I have. And I'm just going to bring this color in. Okay, that's going to be probably, this matches up with, this color here pretty much matches up with what I was doing in my little drawing. Let's see what this one is. I think this is the one I added more green to. Did it not? We'll find out real quick. I don't think I did. But you are going to need a value probably darker than this one at least, just for sky holes. So those holes we're talking about by the trees up top. These color those need to go one step lighter or darker than what you have when you put it go against greens, the green leaves and stuff, holes in those because of the contrast. Or else this color will stand out. And then this, so you want to put it probably just a hair darker. I'm going to do that for you right away too. And if this isn't right, we'll find out real quick. I wonder if this color is. I'm going to add just a little phthalo this one too. More phthalo. That's way too much. Oh, that's not going to work. I say it's not going to work, but who knows? I don't know crap. Also, oh shoot, I didn't. I was thinking about the value of those lines in her dress, her clothes. This is the red side. Now I see it there. This would be the green side then. Probably on the green side. That might be too light. It's not too light. That's about right. So that value for me is gonna. This is the thing about when you start doing, getting to the finishing points on like this on this painting. Where you're dealing with your painting, you're not dealing with my painting as much. So I can tell you what I'm gonna fix, and hopefully that'll help. But we will see. Okay, these guys I was gonna add yellow to make greens. So let's see how much this is, like almost half and half. This is it's probably has to be the green side because it would definitely die out a little bit. And we'll probably take these guys, maybe add a lot more yellow to them. Save basically create piles of green now. And try to do. Sometimes I have trouble getting the lightest value of the greens. How much yellow you have to get that up there. So just kind of hedging my bet. Yeah, right about here. So same thing. And of course, I got a big painting. I don't want these two colors to be too close. That red just didn't do much to that one. I might put just a touch more green than in this one, just to make sure that separate out a little bit so they're not too close, especially when I add white. A lot of the greens will do that though. This is the transparent oxides with phthalo green. You might find that, a lot of times what we're going to do is a lot of these colors will also end up in the ground. Like I was saying about putting some yellow goldenrod or some other, Queen Anne's lace or something like that into those grasses. Just even, just dandelions, something to break up those straight things sometimes. What we're going to be adding, the grasses, be nice to do. So, okay. So again, make these values fit with your painting a little bit because, take a knife in with it on there and put it up against where you think it's going to go and see how it, reacts. If it sits well, if it doesn't jump out, that's a good one. That one's really good, in fact. I used up all my yellow. This one didn't light up enough. All the yellow I have, and I put out new yellow, and it's gone. I need blue gray. That's why I needed those up there. I needed some little bit of blue greens, regular grass greens. So even on these colors, don't be too stuck with mine variations. If you need to add white or add more yellow or orange or something to them, that's do it. The great thing is, again, oils, we can always fix things. But again, if it's if you feel like it's, you got to look at your painting and judge it sometimes. Does it feel dirty? Does it feel, doesn't feel fresh? And where's that area that doesn't feel fresh in? And that's why I was talking about my sky. It's, it could be as easy as it just needs to be a lighter orange. So I got to mix up an orange too. Lighter orange for that. I could have just. That's a better green there. That was orange, and blue. And that did come out to be a nicer green. That's almost perfect. Like I said, I'm going to keep these piles, just take a little bit of them. Now I'm going to add just white to these things. And pieces of these things and see if light them up. And then I got a good variety of colors. I'm going to bring these guys down here. Pieces of these guys down here. So when I get there, let me see about that. About right. So half and half white and little pile. Makes a good difference between that one and that one. And this will be all over in it. This one. It's nice and clean. That's a nice clean one. Ochre and blue. And then the yellow white. Whoop. Well, not sure if it's going to be too much in there, but you never know. Some of these colors might end up be back like into the saddlebags or whatever that is up behind her. And so okay. I think I'll do those guys and that'll be it for now. I think yeah, there's probably a skin tone or something I might end up having to make just to come back at the end and clean her up too. And that'll be just little spots, probably just thinking like fingers or hands or little um, clean areas that I need. I brought the part of the mane over her hand too, not to hide it that much, but to just to pull it back a little bit. Okay, yeah, okay. My greens feel pretty good. Let me say that I say pretty good, but I love these guys up there, but I don't want to tear apart the piles. Just bring them down here a little bit. I want to add white to them, and I don't want to go up there and destroy my piles up there. I think that. Well, let me look at this. Wow, that's really good. I'm leaving it. It's an in-between pile. Didn't have to go quite that far. All right. Colors again, I did up here. I just did phthalo green and transparent oxide up here, which I kind of just wiped out when I used it all. And then transparent oxide here and just a little bit of green coming down. Value-wise, yeah, I was going for the weeds here, the grasses. I figured also they're just a hair dark, but with my knife, putting them in my knife, they're going to go into a lot of them are going to go in brighter because I'll be putting them in my knife. So that's a good thing to think about too. Some of the greens I made up here just to get for the tree itself. I'm not sure how much I want to do, but I don't want to put too much of the same green everywhere. But I don't want to, and I'm not sure how cool it's going to be or how warm I have to go. I just want to make sure I have that bet down. This one, I'm thinking about. I'll just a little bit more blue on this side, right there. Looking at right underneath the horse, maybe I can go a little bluer. I know I was going to use phthalo green and thing, but I kind of wasted it. So maybe that will do too. That'll help. I got to solidify that area. And then there's branches to bring in and teepees to paint. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of put them in. I put people in, in there. And then the dog. I didn't even paint the dog color, but I'm thinking some of this phthalo green and white mix. Let me see. Might be just a hair dark light. It might be right in between here. Right in there. Not there. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. It might be that's too dark. So it's closer to this. But that's also sky. So quit it. Well, let's see if I have to come back and mix sky. If I do, if I have to come back, it's going to probably be blue and phthalo green mix. But that's way too much. And white. So it'd go there. Well, like I said, just right there. And value-wise, I'd take it up to these guys. So it's going to be a little bit brighter, half and half at least. Just in case. just starts, after, at a certain point, the painting will, for me, it just starts to feel a little too sweet when I go with strong blue sky. So that's why I'm going to go with these grayed out blues. I think those guys will hold that area a lot better. That'll be the first thing I want to tack too. Is put those guys in. Well, no, it's not going to be the first thing. First thing I'm going to tack is take the branch out of the horse's nose. I don't know how I did that, and I know what I did. It was there in the photo. I liked it, like that branch, and it was easy to paint. But for me, it was just it's going to be too much. So let's go see that stuff. You got the colors. I can do this. I could do a add it to here. Do a double spotlight here. Where I have like that. If that would help you guys.
Yes, I like that. That's helpful.
Okay. We'll leave that for now. And, if you have a problem, I'll try to fill that one spot in.
Jim, what's the color that's the light turquoise at the top of your palette? It's sort of, you got two.
At the very top up here?
Yeah, that
This one?
one.
Yeah, I just made a phthalo green and blue with a lot of white to the same values.
Okay.
Just because
All right.
I want to have options just in case. If it does end up feeling better when it goes blue, I'll be happy to do that. I'll be happy to. I have it ready. I just don't have to really think too much. Now I can just start to sit and judge a little bit. You know me, Mr. Judge. I'm always judgmental about everything. So this guy here, first thing I want to do is make sure there's no paint edges, visual, from my brushes right now. So I'm just going to scrape it down a little bit. There's one right there. You can take the paint almost go right down to the canvas. And there we go. And then go back here too, especially underneath here, like see the white. Okay. So if some of that brown shows through, that's okay. I don't care. I'm going to bring it down here. Also, I'm going to get rid of this bottom branch. Going to smooth it out. And then this guy here, if he comes through, he might just be a vertical, but he has to change from the angle of the nose. He can't be this angle. He has to come back to this away from it, or soften it up, or do what Sarah did and blew it out. Add some blue gray to it and just blew it out and make it sit back. I think that's.
How much detail do those trees need to have? Because I was trying to give them less because they're behind the horse, but
yeah,
you've got a lot of bark detail on them, so I don't know.
A lot of that came from the knife.
Yeah, I like it though, but
I like it too, but it
makes the tree look like the horse has stood right next to it until you look at the bottom and you realize he's, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
feet away.
The thing is, it's not working because of that. So that's why I was saying I'm going to bring mine down a little bit farther because it's right now running parallel with the foot thing here and those guys. So if I bring it back down here, it would probably down to almost the shadow. Well, it should go but better. So let's just gonna get some good clean oil in here too, because I don't want dirty oil. When you get to this point, don't want dirty oil. Oh, dirty oil, not a good thing. Good clean colors at the end. Because it will dirty up on its own, So these good clean colors. Don't, wipe your brush a little more often. Don't let your colors come back. Small bristle brushes might be a good idea too, smaller, especially for the leaves, because we don't want them. You don't want them, for me, I don't want them like in that thing I did where they're just circles, that's just simple. But they do need to kind of still match what we got going. I think that's going to be better. Okay. So we're going to start with the greens. So I am going to, instead of going with a synthetic, I'm going to start up here and bring this guy down a little bit, and then I come back with synthetic. Like I said, just put a couple nice greens in there. So I'm going to go with a kind of a blue green. So I'm starting off with blue.
So you're not getting rid of that branch. You're just going to kind of.
Well, I am going to get rid of it. I'm just going to paint over it. I'm going to
but-
bring this green down a little bit more.
But is it going to look like?
I haven't put the lights in. Yeah.
No. I was going to say, are you going to totally get rid of it, or are you going to just soften it by putting loads of leaves over top of it?
I am going to go with I'm going to try and
Yeah.
get rid of it a little bit. I got to get rid of this area at least. And then this area has to be softened.
Okay.
We can't have any thing taking that's just too much taking off. This is okay because it's really smeary. I just overpainted this thing. I just made it just more important than it needs to be, and it's just pulling everything away. So I'm going to go back in, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to look at my greens here. Like I was saying, a couple well placed, green leaves up here. I'm just putting the darks in, and maybe then come back in with a couple lighter pieces of it. Will help keep the tree from taking off. Soften it up a little bit too, maybe. That's what I'm shooting. A few little things I can do there with it. So this is just blue. For me, it's blue and ochre on the blue side. Up here, this side doesn't get a ton of it. I'm not going to put much over there and just work it over here. Because we got a lot of things kind of telling me to go off this over here. But tell you the truth, I did it all on purpose just to give you guys something to do today. So you guys can see oh, he does really come back and make a lot of big changes. Not on every painting, but just this one, definitely on this one. Okay, so I am getting rid of some of that, just working that brown in there. If it shows through now, we'll see. If it, that's the thing is I still have the sky. I got options. Like I said, few down in here. I'm going to go to the lighter version of it. I'm just going to go to the ochre side. Bring that in a little bit. Let me see what that does over the tree here. It doesn't really show up over that. It shows up back here a little bit. Doesn't show up too much here. Everything's just coming down and I'll be bringing back, after I take away all this light. I got to come back and put it back in. So, but the values and that stuff is about right. I just want to get a few of these down below here everything. But I don't want a line. So I'll look. I got this color. That's the thing is, you got the color. Look, go a few other places here. I didn't go too deep on these grasses here either. This is really thin, was really thin. So bristle brush to scrape them. Just going to scrape them in. Thing is, this is the thing about these panels and stuff. For me, it's like when they get to this, you get to this drying stage. That's why the winter one was really nice to do, because I like to keep working on painting when the paint's all still nice and movable. Now it's not moving, so I'm really just have to do a scumble effect, scrub it on a little bit. Because then they match up a little bit better. Now look, I didn't do much over on this side of because this, I don't think I'm going to need too much darkness over here yet. Up here, maybe a little bit more at the top of the painting, just to keep the weight down. So that helped a lot, even just doing that. Okay, I got to go get. We'll be having to go to a synthetic here. Lose some of the horse dog here, and get a few greens coming back in there. This will be good for when I do end up scrubbing in, putting in the more grasses and stuff. Making sure I got a couple lines going through here, so it's not too heavy when the grasses are ending up down in here. So again, this is just my green here is oh yeah, this is phthalo green. No, this is green and orange. Green and orange. No, not green, orange, blue and orange. Blue and orange mix. And this is a way blue, more blue. I'm pushing the blue in it right now. Pushing more blue into my color. I'm just going to steal right in here. I just need a few kind of cooler greens just to make the warmer ones sit down a little bit. They just like right here, just like I said, it just makes the painting dirty if you don't have some of the cools in there. And it's so easy to do. Couple little spots just to bring it down. Help me to lose a foot or two, or lose part of the tail. Lose these feet. Bring them up a little higher. Give me a little bit of play there. That's good. Now I'm going to go back in and really put a little bit more blue into my cat orange and blue, and my final color part of it where I was adding more blue, putting a little bit more into it. Just want to get rid of that thing. I'll be making enough leaves. I did this one. You can't see it, but it was a yellow green, so leaf thing here, and it was in this one spot and just stealing a lot of attention. See that's almost works. Instead of just painting it all out with the sky right away, coming back in and just bringing in these guys here. I'll bring in some more light. Maybe I don't have to. Maybe it'll work. That's the thing is, take your time when you do this. You got the colors. It's going to work. Just take your time. Don't get carried away and just move things. Okay. I need what I think is a bad brush. A bristle brush that's small but terrible. I have lots of bad brushes that have had it. These are good for leaves, because they are just going to be a little haphazard with the color and not going to be so perfect. But before I do that, I am going to take a perfect brush and put a couple well placed yellow green leaves up against this horse. Thing is, I want to gang them up a little bit and space them out, but I don't want them too equal or things. I want to feel kind of natural. Let me see which greens I got to do here. I'm thinking maybe try this one. This is alizarin and phthalo and tons of yellow. Midtone. Maybe it's all that. Maybe it doesn't have to be too much. That's about right. That look feels good. And then I'll come back over the other side and see if I can, put in a big one and a small one dot next to it, maybe 3 dots. That's just a little too small. That worked out pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, well, that's gonna work. Maybe I like all that work I did do on this branch. Doesn't have to just go away. But I'm just saying, when I did the thing, is really it did need some work. It needed to be separated. Also, here I want to. This is great to be able to cut this tree part right there, because it was, for me, my tree was ending up right here in the main, exactly at the same part the main moved a little bit. So I'm going to bring this green back into here. So well placed, maybe find a leaf up here by its bangs and ears, just one to give it a sharp edge against. Even down in here, just a leaf or two ending right in front of that chest muscle. Not that one. Not that muscle. But, you can start to help out that horse a little bit drawing wise because I didn't mess it up too much, but I just, messed it up enough. Okay. Good thing here is we're, like we mentioned, I'm gonna bring this guy down just a little bit farther. I'm just using my there. Just just pulling down the that was brown. That was transparent oxide and phthalo green going into those into these guys here. Just need to scratch it in here. Just drag it through here. Just get enough to come through. Maybe if I can get it on the other side, maybe some little bit of blue gray. That's why I say this bad brush. Oh, it just doesn't want to hold any paint. That's why it's a bad brush. But it also just kind of scratches it in there. And like some of the problems I had here, it's just some of the bark, I put it in with a knife, it kind of went in really well. And I think it just went in just a hair light. That's where some of the problems are. So just scumbling a little bit of this over it. You can also, besides scumbling, sometimes when you have this nice little mark like this, the mark's right, everything feels right about it, but the value's too strong. Then you can come back in with a glaze and glaze it back too. Okay. That's working out. That wasn't that big a fix. I just got to bring some riches over there. Then it's almost grayed out. And if I gray out this back end and maybe shrink it down, I think I'll just end up doing that. Putting a little gray over top of it, blue gray, just phthalo and alizarin, pushing it back that way. So these guys aren't too strong. That warmth, usually that's all it is just getting rid of, and then edges back here too. Like I got edges are also going to tell you to come up forward, So I was going to put in a little more branch stuff back in here too, and that was going to be with the blue gray. So maybe I would have caught it then, but I'm just going to bring in my yellow greens, a little bit more in here. And work them in patches. I do want patches for these. I don't want, I want them to feel like they came from a branch. So once, creating, just painting color light on one side, kind of staggered going through there. So I'm not doing, I'm not going to do too much. I mean, there's going to be a branch. This one up here that caught a little bit more light, but I just never liked, I kind of put it in so quickly. just didn't some of the things didn't go in well. So yeah, so again, put them in with a big one, small one next to it. Move on. Don't do too many. And like I said, when a branch comes down, you can work one side of it a little bit more on the light side of the branch. Okay, that helped a lot. This I need a little bit right by his jaw here, though, just to give me his jaw. So use these leaves like little gold tokens, you know. Too many of them are gonna ruin it. Okay. I'm gonna go put a couple up here. These are gonna be more mid-tone. I don't want them to stand out too much, but I do want them just to like I said, come in here and feel like they are block cutting off this edge here. That will just be a nice, feel like a natural stop. So that's why I put the dark in and I'm bringing in the light on just a little bit of the side of it. Just one side, just an edge side, and then kind of blending them in a little bit. Just little things like that will really help this painting soft, take a little better turn, keep the viewer looking at it a little bit longer. And I also can use these things as a design to also bring back around things. Maybe get this green a little darker right against your forehead. This was not a synthetic brush, bristle brush, a small one, but did not take care of it. So it's a little stiff. So it's like painting with a stick. So it's not, the paint just doesn't go in perfectly. It has a little play to it a little bit. Let's get rid of that spot. Oh, that was working. That's pretty good. I just need a little light. A little teeny one. Yeah, don't put them in. I'm putting them in pretty kind of fast because I see where they're going to go. But when you got a bunch of things leaning one way, put a something going against it a little bit, the opposite way, and just kind of holds the attention. Sometimes, like in the middle of something, which there's nothing there, but I'm holding their attention. And these guys, I just want to just soften down a little bit. This dark, a little bit. All right, on this side, same thing. Yellow green's got to be popped up. Going to be on the lighter side. So if you get a all right, I'm gonna get a few at the top here. I'm not gonna get them all. I want to change that color now before I go too much with these leaves. So I will come back with a synthetic here. And we're going to play with the sky a little bit. Push that sky back. And see if it does. You know, I'm going to, and if I have to come back and make it like a green and stuff, I'll do it. Or blue, you know, or orange, whatever color, I'll do it. I'm going to start with a little bit darker version, just a few spots up here. Of course, towards the top of the painting, that color. This is phthalo green and alizarin. I'm going to start up top here. Just this will be if I want to do sky holes. This would be the value. Come over here and do a sky hole. You know, you see through. Especially up here when you got these leaves up here, or just tone it down like Sarah's, you know, had a little clean. It was a little too clean up there too. I mean, it was giving you a way to escape, but if you just a value, even you know, value deeper and kind of blend it in a little bit would keep the viewer from trying to escape. You just keep them in the painting a little bit, just using color. So, okay, this is a lighter version. And I'm just going to bring it down. I have all that orange in here. And since there was so much white in that color, it's going to be, as you can see, if you squint at it, this is about right. It might be a hair dark yet. I might have to add more white. And working into these darker areas I made. Could easily just say that's a big cloud bank behind there too, of yellowish color, yellowish cloud. So hey, so this is that sky. You can just see it's uh, just a hair too dark now in the middle of the painting here. It's starting to get, it works better up here against the contrast of the leaves and things. But as I get down in here where it's going directly against, that's where I was saying, and this is pretty high key. I mean, this is 3 at the most. So I might have to take this color a little bit more. You see when I put it against lighter leaves and things like that. I did put teepees in here, I know. They just didn't show up, and I just didn't want to bring them out till class. And they just okay. Let me try this. This is the phthalo version, a little bit more phthalo in the color and white. Well, that doesn't work. That works pretty good, in fact. That worked out a lot better. It looks really light on my on my palette. So I'm going to keep it, since it is lighter and stuff, I'll keep it be closer towards the horizon. So let's, what I'm going to do is just kind of outline the teepees a little bit for you. And we'll see if they work out. I have to redo the tops here. Just blend it out a little bit. I still want to have like the orange kind of blending into it, which it's just really just, you know, softer strokes here. But it's hard to do when the paint's very sticky. Oh, so maybe, I mean, this is the time I would have to do it. I mean, you don't get it, or else it would always be a little goofy. Also, I can soften that. Oops, that was just too much. I was just talking about this, just softening this back edge of this horse a little bit with a finger here. Okay. So the teepees are basically a little beigey. You can see these people.
Jim, can I have a close-up of your painting, particularly the leaves on the left-hand side?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because mine looks so busy now. I'm hating it. I'm gonna.
Mine's busy too. Mine's a little glumpy.
Yeah, maybe.
As you can see in there, it's got a little glumpy. But I brought just
Uh-huh.
a couple branches of light coming through it. And then I'm going to come back with a couple more air holes in it
Mhm.
and tone it down and break it up and break it up. That's all. That's what I'm thinking. That's, let me change the angle of this thing and I can get you in maybe a little closer. That just cuts off her head a little bit. I just need to twist this thing for I don't kick it all the time. Gonna happen. Okay. Yeah, that's I think that's it's working. I'm just gonna bring it in a little bit farther into these guys. Finish up this one corner here. Oh, I took a chance. I was just going, maybe I can take a chance here. This is the aqua, this is the blue green mix here. I said, just sometimes just a little scratch of that in between things, bringing it in. Just a little bit of some color, a little stronger color here and there. That one's just probably just a touch too strong right there, though. Bring it down a little bit. One thing I got to get right in front of it for a second. Yeah, I think that was a good change, very good change from orange to just a tinge of blue, very high key. Maybe I can bring the orange back in as a cloud or something that's kind of goes through here. Uh, I don't know, but that's going to make me have to really paint one side of these teepees just a little lighter too, though. Yeah, I was chicken when I was putting them in, kind of going, not giving them a lot of attention. Because we wanted to see if it was going to work first. They should be light. There will get a light beige color. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to bring in just a little light on sky holes. A couple well placed sky holes here too, right next to the horse. So this is like a value. This is almost darker than that hole I did. Okay, yeah, this value. This is the dog color. Value of this value for me is like a 7.6 ish value, and compared to these guys are close to threes, so it's almost a couple big steps uh, in here. I was reaching over here and missed, took a branch for color there. I'm going to use this around his muzzle down in here. That orange I did have in there, just a little too close to his muzzle color. So this being a little bluer should help that a lot too. That with the leaves. That feels too light. Darken that one in. Okay. And again, around the girl's head. Definitely a good, well placed one against the dark hair. Maybe the back of the head here too. You got to use these holes for your advantage to make sense things. Gives them air to the painting too. So So yeah, this is really a lot darker. These holes are even darker than I had in there. All right. Now, now I'm down here on the farther side. I'm not going to go quite as, I'm going to go not quite as light here as I did here. I'm going to go a little, and it feels, see how light it feels? Almost have to go darker. So it's not so bright. It's just a hair bright. Because of all the darkness here, that does not help. But it does gray it out just a little bit and softens the edge by touching it. And I'm just going to bring it down to and soften it out here about halfway down this section, about halfway down. Just a few touches too, just cleans up. Makes it more pleasant to look at, I must say. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you know, some of the stuff just decides it's doesn't want to play well, I'll have to take it out. So this shape here is just a little heavy. So bringing in a few sky holes here and there will help. You can almost tell where I have to put them just because of what's left, where I have some orange sky showing through. Definitely have to touch them up with a little bit of blue green there. Well, it's not blue green. Okay. What I just did though is I created a line here. So you see it still came through in this one. So really got to bring some of these light greens down in here a little bit more and take this up here so I can break this up a little bit and don't have any lines. Too many lines here going off my painting here. Yeah, just even making that branch a little bit smaller. I can't see too much up in this corner from this angle, so I'm not going to play too much with it. Over here, same thing. Pretty good. Uh, just a couple sky holes to put in. They won't have to be quite as dark. A little lighter than that. A little lighter though. And a little lighter. Touch, touch, touch. That feels good. Like touch up here a little bit. Soften these guys out. Look at the shoes, see what I can put a little blue in that. That's better. Okay. The dog, since I have this color, let me throw a couple. Just needs its value of its here a little cleaner. Got a little dirty. That's a little dark. Good, good. I kept waiting for my color to lighten up on my brush. Just never did. Figured, yeah, that's too bright. That's good. Probably could go a little purplier too. Bring these down to just a soft scratch straight down the brush flat, and you can get these nice effects. Just a little light on the forehead. Like I said, I was just going to bring out just up here, just in front of the paw. They're coming this way, and just a little bit of work. Feel like a muscle or something back in here, and like from the shoulder here. Just a twinge of that, and I'll cover the rest up with grasses. Just a little more highlight in the front on that guy. Thing is, I don't want him to come too much more forward. But that he's a little too white. He needs a little more yellow or pink to him. Okay. Hey, I did get some things done. So if it keeps softening edges, I'll probably have to come back in and it's like, well, maybe I can still do it. Lighten up a few things on this tree branches back in here with the blue gray again. Blue gray. I'm just talking phthalo green and alizarin. Either side, a little grayer, a little cool gray. Warmer gray would be on the green side. Cool gray would be on the alizarin side. See if I can just get this horse to separate out of this pile. Just come forward just a hair more, just by lightening up these couple spots. Because I want to do that down in here. This is the green side seems like it's working a little bit better than the purple side for coming forward and stuff. So this, I'm going to use this for the outside of the bark here a little bit more on the bottom here and just bring out this thing a little bit and just maybe I'll just take this one over here to the take it out this way a little bit and make it a little more of a roots on the tree hanging out. Maybe I can just get these guys to go into the ground and then cover them up a little bit with some stuff. Soften up a few areas here so I don't get too much. I'm going to lighten up some yellow green in the grass here at this bottom part. Looking at which one I have here might do it. Just need to pop that one leg out here. Yeah, but right up against the dark shadow here, just a slight warmth. Different direction. What I say, make sure you have clean fingers. You don't want to come in here and smush with a bad finger. Oh man. Okay. Soften these guys up one more time. Kind of a little heavy just in the dark colors I put in here, but so I'm just now dragging in a little bit of warmer greens into it just to break it up. Using those green light, just a touch lighter. Again, my advantage of trying to grab warmth and stuff to make cut out these legs just a hair, and again lose them, use them, and that's it. I'm just gonna I have to bring out these hairs on this horse up here, just hair more, and the highlights on the girl, and we're good. Let's. I just think I need a little more light back in here. This is basically, what's that? No, this is phthalo green, and this one with a lot of white and yellow in it. Just thinking I'm just on the verge, just a little too light, too dark. Hey, well, knife time. I'm going to start to put in some of these uh, scratches of grass. Let's see, this is the transparent oxide and phthalo green on the transparent oxide side with white. And I tried to get it about the same value as I have underneath. I scratched away. I did. Just don't have to bring too many of these guys in. I'm going to use the greener ones on the greener side. They're just more beigey. They're not, don't have as much red in them. I'm going to use those farther back here so they don't, so I get distance. I don't want the red, like to bring me back here a little bit. I'm just going to work my way around. This is just that the green side going back farther back here. And it's good that I put some fresh paint so this color can grab onto a few things so it's not going to always be the same color all the way through all the time. Definitely a couple different direction ones. When you put in strong ones like this, don't put next to it another more strong ones. You got to put weak value ones or skinny ones, or else you're going to really clog it up. So this is what happens. Just to know. And if it does, just scratch it out. Go on. Starting to feel better. I mean, the painting starting to hold together where it was before. It was just this section, this section, this section. You know, I might even bring down the branches down in here. You know, just thinking. So the phthalo green, I'm putting them back more phthalo green side. I'm going to put them back a little bit farther, stagger them and bring them forward, bring them back. So I can layer these grasses right. Back over here, I want to keep it all. I'm going to pretty much
Jim?
Yes.
If you step back from your painting and look at that dog, I'm wondering if your dog isn't a tiny bit too small.
I can make them bigger. I can make them bigger. Let me see.
Well, he's the size of your horse's head.
Yeah. Okay.
Or possibly even smaller. So I just looked at it for the first time since you put that blue on it, and I thought, wow, that's like a little terrier, or like is that your idea, or did you want a bigger dog? I don't know.
Well, I'm figuring that half of them is covered up with.
No, I mean even lengthwise.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, it would probably wouldn't be much.
Yeah.
You tell me, you know, if I bring it out here to the tail, you know,
Yeah, better.
that's the thing is it's just a little teeny thing. It's not,
It's just little teeny things.
and
Yeah.
then just softening an edge. You kind of just give it. You don't, you know, you don't give it a exact size.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, it could be. We could definitely do a Newfoundland or something out of it really quick too. But and then I still got to do his mouth and there's a little bit. He's over here to the side here. I can only get this far into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really want to get in front of it before I, you know, make all those other things. I did put a little spot. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't all white.
Yeah, I did too.
Because he's all white. It was just like a blob there. So I put a little,
Mm.
spot on his back, and instead of making perfectly white tail, I put tipped it just like up here and stuff, and just bring that orange back there a little bit. Give him a second ear too would be good. But thank you. I'll put your name on my painting, okay?
No. Sorry, I hate to make comments like that, but it just looked, it just looked really small. And I thought you're such a dog person, and you're gonna probably want
Yeah. Well, I
a
tell
nice
you,
dog there.
yeah. I couldn't put a gold in there, so I just had to. I was going. I got to put a mutt in here.
Yeah, he
Kind
looks
of
like a
a
little
real mix.
terrier.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a mixed breed of some sort, right? It's not going to be a too much. I just figured that would be pretty
No,
good.
not with an Indian girl. No.
Yeah. I didn't think you know, I'm not trying to, I'm so far from being able to be authentic with this, but I'm trying to do a few of the things that I want to catch. Like I said, when you get a big clump like that, you know, put a small one next to it. Don't put another big one. You make a bigger eyesore. And then put it over here to drag the eye over. You don't get so it just doesn't snap by itself too. That's always things I do with these grasses, just if you do get a clump, want to make another clump. So it doesn't look too out of place by itself. I'm going to push these colors together a little bit and get me a middled view. Kind of getting I want a couple colors here. And these grasses, you need to come all the way up in a few spots. Kind of made marks for myself when I was laying it out. And get some that just kind of go just like this one, just go across the bottom at an angle. So they really kind of feel trampled a little bit sometimes, especially under these front feet. You can definitely see where the horse has pushed him down, walking around just a few steps, trying to drag everything up. Now that's what I'll be doing on these grasses. That's going to take a little bit more time to do these guys, and it's not going to make a ton of difference to the painting. But I have some decent stuff in there I'm pretty happy with. I'm never happy with a painting till I finish it, so I'll always say that a little bit. I did take away its bridle a little bit. I didn't like that. That was just it's just sorry. I probably should have photoshopped it out or something because it just jumps out at me. I can't see anything else but that bridle if I look at the photo. Um, so just a rope. I was thinking or leather since I do have, the leather is not hard, but just putting in some leather might work best to do there. Otherwise, other things, I'm just going to come in and put in some leaves on this side with a bristle brush, some lighter yellow greens, and this area here should feel better. This is a pretty high key yellow greens. Um, and that will give this twinkle to this area, this stuff too. like I said, might come back in. Drop in that big branch there. One of those things that's going, what I tried to do is instead of putting that in, maybe I could just do what I did doing over here. A couple more leaves here and there, well placed leaves, you know. A little light, apple light around her. Uh, get around this horse when I do start putting this really light green. You don't have to put it exactly on the horse. You can, since we have the little bit lighter green now there, I put in a few spots. I don't have to get all the way to it. I can just get to the front part of it, and it's enough. That was a badly done one. Because that was pointing right to it. But I don't mind one right here. These are really light, some of my lightest greens there. I'm going to go back to this beige I was using for, the red side. This is light oxide and green and stuff I was using for these guys, which I got to put in yet. Some more. But right here, I've got a bristle brush. I'm just going to flick it up. Get that one part of the mane that's catching light here. Oh, it's got a little heavy right there. Shoot. I was pushing it, trying to get some color in there. Or some light right in here to kind of bring things back. Just a touch of red. I think it's going to tone it down just a hair.
Oh no.
What?
My easel moved and I just blobbed red paint all over her face.
Oh,
It's bad.
ouch. All right. Gets, I am going to start to look at over here. There's going to be a lot of finger work at the end to touch up some things to soften edges. Definitely, you will want to have baby wipes. Wipe your finger when you change colors, go in between smushing colors and stuff. So that's what I'm gonna think about doing, but I kind of have to be in front of it, and I can't get there. So I can get. I'm gonna work on her then a little bit. I just want to soften a couple edges. Oops. I think this color might be better. My highlight color I put in here just a little. Doesn't really jump as much as I thought it would. All right. Lines and stuff with a bris with the this is what I'll be doing with a synthetic. A nice synthetic that holds its really point to its flat a flat one that you can paint it in with anything else, but this nice really clean rosemary synthetic. It's razor sharp. We good for putting in some of the details in the shirt clothes here. Let me see. This is phthalo green and alizarin. Really on the phthalo green side with white to about a 7. I'm just going to stagger in some lines here. Just see, make sure they're set where a fold is. They go right up to the fold and then they match up on the other side. I don't have to do all of them. I'm just going to do a few of them. And like I said, just match up a little bit, just a little bit of touch of oil on my brush. They're going a little cleaner. Okay. They get here. They're gonna roll. So it's just really basically spacing as I come over here. And then when I get almost to the light, you know, kind of just stop. You get a few of them, and that's why these guys can be just little spots like that, and that'll do it. Don't go into the light too much. Just barely touch it. And then over here, they just start to follow the curve of the shoulder here. So these guys are going to come down like this into a crease and then turn it up here. So I got the orange one in of it. So I can use that to kind of follow my spacing. Well, see, I'm almost done and didn't do much. I might have to go a little bit darker uh, in here just because I think the is might even switch to, let me see what it is. This is blue and ochre now. Might have to come back in because some of these guys just need to be a little bit darker back in the shadow side here. Again, it's just a little bit of space. Only the they don't have to be the exact. I mean, the one thing about it too, I don't try to be too perfect line wise. I want them to kind of break up, and I don't want them to break up the same right underneath each other, so that they look a little different. So I just did the going straight down like that, and I'll come up back over here and make a couple adjustments. Clean paint, and I should be done.
Jim, could we have that now as the close-up view instead of the split view?
Sure.
Let's see what you got going with this.
Okay. Doesn't get that much bigger, but
Oh, no, that's. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
so really I put in the orange first, and then I have these guys follow it. I'll probably come back in with just a little, if I want to be accurate, I could come back and just break up those oranges a little bit lines with I have a leaf color here that's got more yellowish to it. I think it's an orange and blue. It's on the orange side, but you can see it's just a little too bright. So you take your finger, and now it's dry. That's where I say, baby wipe your finger off, touch it, touch it. Way too much. And so right on the edge here. And right on the neck, just going to go right, really bright on the back of the, or goes right there. Get a little highlight color in there. I'll bring her back into the painting. A little bit stronger. I kind of want the highlight and go right into her hair and travel up her hair. Just that slight orange, just a touch less yellow, and then goes to just a slight touch of orange, maybe some cad red added to this yellow mix. This is a cad orange, was blue and cad yellow or cad orange, and then I added yellow. Then I added yellow. Okay, that's why it's so yellow. Um, but right around in here, right when it switches over to her hair, just that little bit of light. You put this light in, and you don't have to worry about the features in the face as much, because this light will steal everything. So just got to brighten it up just a hair more. A few spots, maybe just around the neck, just her braid, just a couple spots on her braid. I did put it, then I'm going to put a little bit. Already did this. Oh, I thought halfway through, I go, I should probably save this for you guys. This almost pure cad red light, pure cad red light. And I'm just a little bit of oil on my brush. I'm grabbing just the tip like we did these guys, the lines. And I'm just going to come back around and put it on the very outside of her, and just drop in a tiny little line of cad red. I've done this before. I do it all the time, in fact. That was a little bit too much. There we go. Push it back in. This kind of blurs the edge. What this does is blur the edge a little bit. And really makes the light, the other side of this color, just explode with the feeling of light. I got this thing. It went a little too flat too, so I'm going to go back in some of these, just a few places where I have a fold, and darken it in. It's because when I did put the orange in on that thing, it just kind of kept going. But this color, this is like one of my final colors. I'd be putting it on this horse's butt back here, just on the soft side of it. Finding a few spots here won't be hard. Back leg here. It's sometimes you just need to soften an area. And if you're in the light like this and softening it, it's kind of tough because you don't want to mix up the color, because you probably don't have that color anymore. This is a great way to soften it. Soften everything. And it works really well. Now I might look at this horse's leg. You can see how flat it was right in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm doing just adding a little bit of color, a little cad red, just the inside of this leg here. I can fix the drawing a little bit problem. And also get away with other things. Like this guy's just a touch too bright. Soften this down a little here more. All right. Oh, the hairs. The last little thing. I might take this up to the top of her head here too. A little more cad right up there. I was just thinking on this horse, I just need to, I would say these guys right on the edge here. One of the things I don't want on this line of her shirt or clothes here to run into this thing too perfectly like they are. So that's why I was taking it up. That's why I was taking it up. So I'm going to brighten that up just one more time. And just a few spots here to help break it up. Not right. All right. Push, twist, twist. Also, just a little bit of light on that. Good synthetic like this is do a lot of things. And I won't be able to get to the dog because I can't get over there. I need to be in front of it a little bit more. I can look for lines, anything like a line that's going through like that. Make sure I break it, Somehow I don't have that happening. Now, like I said, I'll work on the teepees too a little bit. You'll see it all later on. Probably a little more light in her hair. Find a couple of those strands of hair, lighten those up. But I'm pretty sure I got all the colors I need to finish this one right over here. So that is not it for this one, but it is for us. Like I said, just soften this back edge right here because that's going to compete with all this too. So I might even go up here. 1 second. Last thing. Yellow, white. A yellow, white, highest key color. Put it in right there. Going down up to back. A little tighter, There we go. Right this so it doesn't feel like a line. And that's it. I say that's it, but always something else. Just a couple swooshes of color. But that's the kind of stuff I want to do at the end, just to loosen it up. So she comes forward a little bit more. So that might even go a little bit lighter. That might even go, I might even put pure white into that yellow. And then I'll probably have to make adjustments everywhere though. That's just the way it goes. So that's her. And there's the horse. You can see it's a good jump. That's a good jump for a couple hours work of changing the background. Everything starts to make sense. I probably got another hour or two really to go into it. But you guys don't. You guys got to be done. you guys have got to be finished. So let's see. I know Kim and I know Sarah's finished because she's so fast. Kim's probably doting on hers a little bit more.
No, I just think it's too busy. But apart from you'll tell me in a minute.
Here we come. Busy, busy.
Oh, you want me to show you? Okay.
Oh yeah, we're there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's only busy because your branches are dark. Not the two big ones behind them, and maybe even that third one. Just put a little blue gray into them, into those. Oh yeah, that one by your finger.
Yeah.
Maybe that one above his head. You got it's a great mark.
Yeah.
It's just very dark. So
Yeah.
I cool it off. Cool it off with a little phthalo green, or you don't have phthalo. Yeah,
Yeah, but I've got some turquoises and some
yeah,
viridian.
yeah, yeah. That's what you want to do. Just gray it out. Just a gray color, and just push that back. And even that you have kind of a above the horse's head. I mean, on this coming out of his ear, there's a branch there too.
Yeah, I
So
thought I had dulled it enough.
yeah, it needs a little bit more, more.
Okay.
And watch where everything's breaking because right at its ear, and you got a
Yeah.
branch coming out right by its ear too. So push everything up so that ear's clear.
Okay.
That's what I do. It's working. It's cleaned up a lot. It's cleaned up a lot. And your dog, you got a giant dog. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I got a normal size sort of dog. Yeah. Mine's
You
more
got-
like a fox. Mine's more like a foxhound, maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought these grasses down below looked too busy. Are they okay?
No. Those look great.
Okay.
Oh, I love the way you put them in. I would say you might just need a couple little strands ones,
Right. Okay.
That's about it, I would say knock down that white the thing she's sitting on, the one I'm not even sure if it's just a blanket or something.
Yeah.
Tone down the white. It's a contrast problem right at the
I
right where
see.
she's
Yeah,
sitting.
I see.
Get a
Mhm.
little shadow there. This light, yeah. Her clothes are looking really good. You just gotta, just bring up a little bit lighter red in the fold.
Mhm.
When it folds over, so it gets
Yep.
a little more light. Now
Yeah,
that's all you
okay.
need to do on that. And that's the thing is you don't even see her face. That's great. Just look for a couple, something up there in her hair, just to break up that black spot.
I know. I put
And
some red in it, but I don't think you can see it. I don't know.
yeah.
There's a little.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I'd go again.
Okay.
Look for a bluish gray. Try some of the grass color when you get there. Not the grass color, but the beige colors.
Right. Okay.
But it has to go it has to be wet. The dark has to be wet when you put it in because you want them to blend. So or you could go beige and green, or beige or transparent oxide and blue. That makes a nice kind of grayish too, and that would be in there too. Just one little couple clumps, and make sure the top of the head's soft enough.
Yep.
That you don't have a hard edge on the top of her head, the hair. That's a good, you get that done, you're set.
Okay.
Then you can go to bed.
Well, I'm going to carry on working.
Work till midnight there.
No.
Okay. Let's see, Sarah. What do you got? Oh, I added spotlight. Let me see 1 second here.
Mhm.
Ooh, hey, that's a big jump.
Mhm.
That's a good looking jump too. You really worked the horse and the girl a lot.
Mhm.
And the trees back there. Boy, that's, did you fog up? I think you just fogged up your lens to make it softer. Everything's softer on me, didn't you? And I like the way you're handling the grass as smaller tufts, not all two big ones, but you probably need a couple things to break up the big shadow area. So just use that.
Mhm.
I'd say soften his back of the horse's bum, just like I did with a little bit of red, cad red, just so slightly on that edge. that will, and then hopefully that will be enough that you get a blur and soften it.
Okay.
That should do it. And the same with her, you know, now start bringing, get a little bit more stronger light on her back, shoulder, and back,
Mm-hmm.
just on that little area, but don't mess up everything else you did, because you did great work there.
No, thank you.
And I like the way you handled the trees. I do. I would say that you got a straight line coming from the horse's butt there. Soften that line,
Mhm.
and you're really you're really close after that. Soften a few of the uh, lights in the trees, sky holes,
Mhm.
and yeah, a couple more grasses. I think you just keep going in the direction you're going here is really good.
Okay, cool.
But fabulous start, really fabulous. I would also, I'm just looking at the red, the thing she's sitting on, the red thing and the white thing, falling in about the exact same spot. You know, they kind of make a, if you could bring the white down just a
Mhm.
hair, you got a nice smiley face there going too. Well, it's not a smiley face,
It does
but
look like a face,
yeah,
though.
yeah. So you might, simplify that, or add another dot or two there. If you want to go full out, you can go farther out, if you want.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think this is a nice little painting.
Cool.
I think you get a few more things in there. It's a little soft. Basically, it's a lot of softening. And you gotta gonna have a nice one. You got a winner.
Cool.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. That was it. Tough class with only two people, right? So you guys, what do you guys want to paint next week? Yeah, that's what you guys get. You guys get you know, the burden of what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do a still life? You guys want to do just a landscape, something easier?
Let's do a still life. Yeah, I would be good with that. There's so many flowers about. I wouldn't mind.
Okay, I'll look for a good
Is
still.
that okay, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
The eyes have it.
Mhm.
Well, girls, thanks a lot for joining. Finish these things up, put them up, and we'll see you all next week on something else.
Same place, same time.
Same back
Perfect.
channel.
I was gonna say that, but I thought, no, I don't want to date myself.
You can't wait. That you saw it in reruns. That's the thing, is you saw it in reruns. I saw it authentically as a little kid every week,
I think we're
waiting
the
for
same
that
age
to come on.
approximately, Jim. So I think it was the same.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I mean, I remember, guys, waiting all week for that the day it came on. Just
Really?
watching, waiting for it to come on TV. Now we don't do that. We don't have to. We get anything we want,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is nicer. But it's kind of neat to hold those kids back a little bit. Okay. Again, thanks again, ladies. Like I said, I'll fix this up and post it. You guys fix yours up and post them too. Those are some very nice paintings. Congrats. This was the end of our 2-week painting here, so we did well. It was enough to do, wasn't there?
Mhm.
Plenty.
Mhm.
Okay, because that's
Yeah.
the thing is about on these things is that was one of the things you got to have enough to do for 2 weeks, and it's always a fine line of way too much.
And I liked what you did with sending out, your Photoshop version of like where we were going to try to take it. Because I looked at that this morning again and I thought, oh, okay, yeah, sure. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that input.
All right.
All right, ladies. You have a good weekend.
You too.
And we'll
You
see you
too.
later.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.